Good evening and welcome to Recreation and Parks Committee for March 13th. And we're going to do the roll call. We have Heather Dunn, Lisa Shanahan, Jen McMurray, Nicole Ayers, Johan Lopez. Everyone is here. Can they hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. And did I miss anybody?
Yes, here, present.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Seth. Your face we saw.
Nope, no problem. Yeah.
All right. So we do the roll call. Can I have acceptance of the February 14th meeting minutes? Are there any changes to the minutes? None? So can I get acceptance to move the February 14th minutes?
So moved.
All in favor? So everybody, thank you. Do we have anyone for public participation?
Yes.
Right.
Sorry. No, if you have an item, you can speak when your item is read. But I do have some public participation, so I'm going to unmute Diane CC.
Thank you.
Ms. CC?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a delay from the time you unmute me till it actually clicks in there. Good evening, everyone. I'll just take a minute of your time. I don't want to belabor any points. As you know, or I hope the committee knows that I sent in a series of emails regarding one of the items that's on your agenda tonight, the Tri-Ball Championship competition for Veterans Memorial Park. I have a number of concerns that I outlined regarding the status of the organization that's looking to run this and their legitimacy in Connecticut to be able to host this event, and also the use of the park for what originally I think their filings with the state, which are no longer valid, actually had stated that they were a nonprofit, but there's no record of them being a nonprofit. So this is a for-profit endeavor as best I can tell. And I do thank staff for letting me know that there's nothing in the city policy that prohibits for-profit organizations from renting out our public park space. But due to the nature of the size of this event, 1,000 people, which I know that you think is not necessarily a lot for that park. It is an event that's going to take up a few days on a weekend in the summer. While we try to balance the, the community needs for having, healthy sporting events that are suitable for the whole community and for families. I think we also have to balance the quality of life issues for the residents in the area as well. Especially those who live along Seaview Avenue and on some of the abutting streets. So there were a number of points that I brought to the attention of staff and to Chairwoman Darlene Young. And oops, I'm sorry, did someone say something?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, I heard something in the background there. So I hope that these things are being addressed. And certainly if any of the points that I raised had been addressed, or there was some misunderstanding with what the documents are with the state, or the address of this organization, etc., then I hope it gets clarified tonight. My concern also was that there might be an opportunity for you to approve this evening with a whole bunch of conditions on it. And if that is the case, I just want to know also the mechanism for making sure that those conditions are met within a reasonable amount of time, because one of the things I don't want to do is be disrespectful to this organizer and have them go off and start spending a ton of money in marketing and programming around this and then have it pulled at a substantially later date. So I thank you for your time and for staff and Ms. Young to be able to hopefully address this evening. Thank you.
Mr. Schwartz, you are unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, thank you so much, Darlene. Great to see you again. I hope everything's been well, and everyone else from community events, Parks and Recs, and the city of Norwalk. Thank you very much for having me here. And also, thank you very much. I didn't catch the name of the person who was mentioning the concerns, but first of all, thank you very much for even just considering what we're doing and expressing your concern. Darlene, please let me
So
know.
excuse me for
Yeah.
one moment. I think you're one of the items on our agenda. So this is, we'll get back to you. This is for
Okay.
folks who just want to make comments about items on the agenda. So is there anyone else, Celine?
No, there is not.
Okay, so we will close public participation. There's no old business, so we're gonna move on to new business. The city of Norwalk reserves the right to cancel the event for public health or safety reasons as determined by the city of Norwalk in its sole discretion. The city of Norwalk shall not be liable for damages arising from the cancellation of an event. Item 5.1. Approve the use of Ryan Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Broad River Church for their Easter egg hunt event to be held on Saturday, March 30th, 2024 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Setup time by 11 a.m. with tear down between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Approximately 200 people. Someone move the item?
I'll move the item, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. McMurray. And who do we have here? Mr. Stowers or Ken? Mr. Hughes?
We have Lillian Santona, NATO.
Yes.
And Kevin.
Yeah,
And
Kevin
Kevin,
Mullins,
yeah.
I'm here as well.
Hi,
Okay.
Mr. Mullins. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Darlene, good to see you.
You too.
So I'm happy to answer any questions. I think that we have gone through carefully through all the things that we were assigned to make sure that we took care of. I believe we've attended to all those things. We're excited to offer another Easter egg hunt. There's several happening the weekend before. And the two, at least that I know of in Norwalk on the day before Easter. And so I think our city is going to be well served in different parts of the country, parts of the city. And we're excited to have this one 1 block away from our location in South Norwalk.
Any questions for the applicant? Comments? Wonderful. Glad that you're able to do this again. So all in favor, please say aye or signify. So I can see. I think it's unanimous. All right. Thank you
Thank you for your time.
and good luck. Hope for good weather, right?
That's the deal.
Right. 5.2, approve the use of Rowayton School and immediate surrounding grounds by Rowayton School PTA for their Rowayton School Carnival 2024 event to be held Friday, May 3rd and Saturday, May 4th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Setup time by Sunday, April 28th at 7:30 a.m. with tear down by Monday, May 6th at 5 p.m. Rain date Sunday, May 5th. Approximately 700 people. Someone move the item, please.
I'll move it for you.
Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. And who do we have to speak to this?
We have Ms. Esparza who's going to speak on this. Amy Esparza.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, tell us about your event.
So it's a yearly event at the Rowayton Elementary School. It's run by the PTA Association. All proceeds go back into the school for educational purposes. It's run on Friday and Saturday with a rain date of Sunday. And it'll have lots of amusement games, as well as bake sales and food trucks for the community.
Great. Any questions for the applicant? Don't think we have any. So, so it's 700 people around the number of attendees that you normally get for this event?
We hope to have around between 300 to 400 a day. So total, probably yes.
About that. Great, great. All right, all in favor? All right, I think that's unanimous. All right, thank you.
All right, thank
Have
you.
a good evening.
Thanks.
5.3, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach Road and immediate surrounding grounds by Norwalk Bike Walk Commission for their Norwalk Open Streets 2024 event to be held on Saturday, May 4th, 2024 from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. setup time, 7 a.m. with tear down by 3:30 p.m. Approximately 500 people. Would someone move the item? Whose hand is up? Who is that? Who's moving it? I can't see.
Airs.
Thank you, Ms.
Nicole.
Ayers. Thank you. And who do we have to speak to this?
Hi,
Yeah.
Darlene, it's, oh, sorry, Robert.
It's
Ms.
been,
Bisegli, how are you, Miss Christine?
it's
I'm
been
good,
Anderson.
thank you. All right, good. Thanks, everybody. It's an honor to be here tonight and a pleasure. So yes, this is going to be the second Open Streets event that we would like to hold on Saturday, May 4th. And we hope to get 500 people. Last year it was a little underattended. But this year we are co-partnering with quite a few organizations, including Norwalk Hospital, New Vance Health, Parks and Rec, of course, City of Norwalk, Bike Walk Commission, which I'm a commissioner. And so we have 3 police officers. This year, we're also going to have several events for children and families, but bike rodeo possibly, and food truck, tabling with local nonprofits. And we have the blessing of Diane Cece was here. I don't know if she's still on, but the East Norwalk Neighborhood Association. That's, any questions? No rain date.
Oh, so if it rains, that's it. Yeah, okay. I like that. Any questions?
Chair Young, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I actually got back on my bike for the first time in a while for this event last year, and I'm really glad it's back. And I know you guys are just going to get bigger and better each year. So thank you for putting all the work into it.
Thank you, Jen. Yeah, we would like to make this an annual event, and I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. So we're shutting down the one of the lanes to Calf Pasture Beach. So yeah, everybody come out with your bikes or your feet, 2 feet, or your wheelchair, whatever you got.
All right, all right.
Yeah, Madam Chair,
Yes.
this is an event that it was, we had, it was the first time we did it last year.
Mhm.
And these kind of events and even ongoing dates that are really annual events, but they're just times of the year in other cities where they have open streets for people to get out, ride their bikes, skateboards, what have you, just walking, riding, jogging. And so I'm hoping that in the future, as a part of our recreation, that we have not only annually, but once a month, maybe, that we open the streets. So it has to evolve, but I'm hoping we get there.
Great. All right. If there are no more comments or questions, all in favor?
I just have
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can vote.
Mhm.
I just want to say something to be mindful of going forward. I know, I would love to participate. I'm already signed up for the 5-borough bike race in New York. It's the same day. So try to make it not the same next year then, so we can participate too.
That's a great comment, Heather.
Right.
I've done that ride many times. And we're partnering this year with Norwalk Public Schools. So we had a different date, but they had the May date, the early date. So we're going with that. But thank you for your input and good luck on your ride. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You ladies make it seem like I better hop on a bike, but I probably need my training wheels. It's been so long. But so all in favor? I think that is unanimous. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, Ms. Bisegli.
You too, my friend. Take care.
5-4, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Coachman, Rod, and Custom Beach Crews for their car show event to be held Tuesday, May 14th, June 11th, July 9th, and August 13th, 2024 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Setup time, the date of show by 5 p.m. with tear down by 9 p.m. Rain dates, Thursday, May 16th, June 13th, Friday, that date's not there, or Friday, July 12th, and August 16th, 2024, approximately 100 people. Someone move the item, please. I'm looking at you, Miss Heather. I can only see you right now. Thank you.
I do.
Sorry if someone else raised their hand. I just can't see. I'm sorry. Who do we have here to speak to this item?
Rick Tabella. I don't see him though. Maybe maybe Ken is in lieu of that. Maybe Ken can give us a background. He's done this event.
Yeah, so we have done these car shows for quite a long time since I've been with the city. You know, it's a good event. They get a good turnout. You know, our staff, you know, cordons off a section of the parking lot that they use for the show. And a lot of people come out, you know, it's highly weather dependent, but it's something that people look forward to.
I guess I just don't recall the dates being so spread out, but we've always done it this way.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it averages about once a month.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, do we have any questions? 100 people, that's what they're thinking a day, or for the whole entire?
I think it's 100 people participating in the show. I think it's the number of cars in the show.
Okay, and what do they usually get for attendance? Do they ever report that then?
Yeah, because it's hard to say because it's at the public beach.
Public beach, okay.
So yeah, so the beach is
Okay.
busy anyway, and people walk back and forth from the car show to the beach. So it's really hard to peg the amount of people who just came there just for the show.
Yeah. So 100 people is a little, yeah, it's a little, doesn't make sense. It should say 100 participants. Is that what that is? 100 people, yeah.
100 participants.
Right. Because it's much more than that. Anyone have any questions or comments? No? All in favor? Don't see. I hope that is unanimous. As in, okay. 5.5, approve the use of Cranberry Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Tiny Miracles Foundation for their Family Fun Day event to be held on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Set up time at 8 a.m. or tear down by 3 p.m. Approximately 170 people. Can someone move the item? Mr. Sutton, I see you in front of me. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So who do we have to speak to this?
We have Lee Klein.
I'm here, Lately Klein. How are you,
Hi, Ms.
everyone?
Klein. Good. How are you? Can you tell us a little bit about your event?
Yes, this is the third time we've had it at Cranberry Park, and we're hoping to have it there again, obviously. And we bring in this year just one food truck and pizza, and we bring in a singer, Jumpin' Jams, and we're bringing in a little scribble scrabble sensory arts and crafts stuff, and we basically create a family fun day for all the families of premature babies in Fairfield County. Usually we get about 60 families, and they're there for a couple hours enjoying a very special day and bonding with each other over their experience. So it's a fun event for all of them and very healing for all of them to see each other's children and see how they progress. So it's a special day, and that's basically it.
Very nice. Does anyone have any comments, questions? Okay, hearing none.
Chairman, I have a quick question.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Quick question. Do the families that usually go to the event, are they just local, or are they from Fairfield County, or is it just, it depends, or is it a little bit of everything?
They are Fairfield and New Haven County because we partner with all of the Fairfield County hospitals and Yale New Haven Hospital now. So the people on our mailing list or who follow us on social media who are invited, and they have to register to come. They don't pay, it's a free event, but they have to register to come. They're all families who rotated in and out of those hospitals with their babies. So they're all local.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions or comments? It sounds like a very amazing event and healing event and fun event. And so hopefully you'll be around for many more years. So thank you very much.
We hope so too. Thank you. Cranberry Park is wonderful for this venue, for the children, and safe for the families. And it really is very special. And, you know, 90% of them are very low income. So it's extremely special day because it gives them something that they normally wouldn't be able to do.
Wonderful.
Thank
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. So have a good evening.
Thanks.
5.6, approve the use of Cranberry
Chair,
Park.
you have to call for the vote.
Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to call for the
I'm sorry.
vote.
All in favor? I'm
Vote.
sorry. All in favor? Everybody? All right. There we go. Sorry about that.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. 5, 6,
Bye.
approve the
Madam
use
Chair, Madam Chair, before you read this event, we have a correction on the date. We have a correction on the date for this next event.
okay,
It should be Friday, June 7th, not Sunday, June 7th.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. 5, 6, approve the use of Cranberry Park Pavilion 1 and immediate surrounding grounds by Anchor Academy for their Regina Passes Academy Annual Field Day Picnic event to be held on Friday, June 7th, 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Setup time by 7:30 a.m. with tear down by 4 p.m. Approximately 170 people. Would someone move the item, please?
So move it.
Thank you. All right. And who's here to speak to this? Thank you, Ms. Shanahan.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Quatella. I'm here to speak on behalf of our event. This will be, I think, our third or fourth year now at Cranberry Park with our field day event. So Regina Pacis is a small Catholic school in Norwalk, about 100 students or so. And this is always our end of the year event for our school. So it's our last day of school. Graduation is the night before. So it's a day that we all look forward to. And I speak personally because my wife is the principal of the school. So we're all excited to close another year. So it's all kinds of field day activities, the usual relay race, tug of war, race the egg across the finish line kind of thing. So the kids do that for about a couple of hours, work up an appetite, and then we have lunch. We have a specialty hot dog cart vendor that comes in, and an ice cream truck comes. So it's just a great capstone to the year that all of our families look forward to every year.
Great. Ken or Mr. Stowers, you have any comments?
No, it seems
No?
like a great event and support it.
Any questions or comments?
I have a question, Heather.
Okay.
Mr. Stowers, do we typically, do any of the other schools use, I know it's the end of the school for a lot of places, does like Cranberry School use it or any of the others?
Use our parks, you mean?
Yeah, for the end of year
Yes. Yeah,
events.
they do. Yeah,
And
they do.
would this conflict or can they all use it together?
No, it doesn't conflict. I
Okay,
mean, at certain schools, sometimes they collaborate with other schools, sometimes just a single school.
Most of our schools head to the beach.
so it's on the bus line for a lot of us.
Right, right.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
We're also Heather, we're also in the final stages of approving a joint use agreement where we talk about each other's facilities and each other's assets and how we use it, how we approve use of them. So hopefully that will clarify even further how we jointly use each other's facilities.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? All right, it's unanimous. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Welcome.
5, 7, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Norwalk Parting Association for their Calf Pasture Beach event to be held the following Saturdays, March 16th, 23rd, 30th, April 6th, 13th, 14th, 20th, 27th, May 5th, September 14th, October 5th, 19th, and 26th, November 2nd, 9th, 16, and 23, and Sunday, November 17th, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., approximately 50 people. Those numbers seem weird to me. That it doesn't seem like that's adequate. But who's here to speak to this?
We just have to have somebody move it.
I'll move it, Chair.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Go ahead. Who's here to speak?
Mr. Donahue.
Yes. I'm Tom, and this is Joe from Norwalk Harding.
So you can just tell us a little bit. I mean, go ahead. This is something you've been doing for decades.
The club was actually started back in 1971.
Right.
So it's 53 years. our racers, they start out from, concentrate mainly on kids, 5 years old and up. We've had people in their 60s race. Big emphasis on, safety, sportsmanship. Basically, every date that we race, every time you go out and race, you're earning points towards a season championship in your class. And then at the end of the season, we have an awards banquet. That's kind of the background of it. Most of our racers are local people, local residents. That's pretty much it. We're all volunteer, nonprofit, so it's been, since day one. Everybody kicks in, everybody does the work during the day, and a lot of fun, great for the kids.
Thank you very much. Ken or Mr. Sowers, do you have any comments?
I do not. We've been working with them for years. They're down the beach sort of in our off season, so it doesn't really affect our, the usage of the beach. So it's interesting to watch. If you guys never seen the go-kart races, I suggest you head down there and take it in one weekend.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? So my only question, I'm sorry, go ahead. Is there someone?
Yeah,
ahead,
sorry. Yeah, sorry. Guys, a quick question for the guys. Can adults participate? Like, or is it strictly for kids? Is it like a league sort of thing?
No, we have adults. It's broken down into classes. So the younger kids will start in a kid karts class. It'll be like ages 5 to 7. And then we have 2 other junior classes. And then we go into adult classes. So as long as
I might be showing up one day. So
Come on down.
A new member.
That sounds fun.
Congratulations.
we'll put you in a
Sounds
car. You
fun.
can try it out.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
My comment is anything to get kids off screens is fabulous. And you guys do a great job. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So, I just want to say that to have been around so many decades, you really are a staple in the city, and you wouldn't be here this long if people didn't like it and want that type of recreational activity in the city. And because you do it on an off season, it allows us to have continued opportunity for activities. And so I just think it's a real asset for the city of Norwalk, and we appreciate everything you've done to make this
We
a
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all you guys do
yearly
too.
thing. Absolutely.
It's a lot of work,
Okay.
but so worth it.
But worth it, right? But worth
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. The fun thing is it's a day with your kids.
Right.
You'll have your parent will be working on your go-kart, you got your little kid racing. And if you miss something on your setup, your tire pressure is off, your child's not gonna do well, and then they're gonna let you hear about it,
Love it.
And they're going professional.
Lots of fun. Yeah, actually, Tommy's just saying, we've had either 9 or 10 people go professional from Norwalk Karting Association.
Wonderful.
NASCAR, open wheel, modifieds. So it's we got a good track record, great safety track record,
Have any of those professionals come back to help and
Yeah, we've had people come back and
Okay.
they'll come to our banquets and stuff and stop in. Parker Kligerman started out with us, and he's come back, actually gone out on the track and run some laps.
Donated to a team, a family donated a couple dollars to the team for a family.
Yeah.
great,
That's,
great. Well,
good
thank you so
fun, yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we did vote on that, right, guys? I was talking. About that. was
Not
unanimous.
yet.
No,
All
we
right.
still need to
So
vote.
all in favor? Okay, hopefully that's unanimous. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Thank you very much.
5.8, approve the use of Veterans Memorial Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Connecticut Veterans Legal Center for the Ride for Our Vets event to be held on Saturday, June 15th from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. set up by Friday, June 14th at 12 p.m. with tear down Saturday, June 15th, 2024 by 5 p.m. Approximately 200 people. Would someone move the item, please? Okay. And who do we have here to speak to that?
Mr. Dunn.
Hello,
Thank you,
everyone.
Dunn.
My name is Patrick Dunn, and I am the Deputy Director of Development and Communications at Connecticut Veterans Legal Center. I also want to recognize my colleague Tiffany Williams, who is here with me today. She is our RIDE assistant producer. So the Ride for Our Vets has a long history of existing in Connecticut, going back to 2012, and it specifically raises funds as a charity bike ride does to support our mission to serve veterans all over the state of Connecticut, providing free legal services on a variety of matters, from VA benefits to housing and everything in between. Excuse me. And so this event, which is, like I said, has been going on since 2012. This will be our first time back in person since 2019. So we're very excited about that. And we actually did a tester in-person event last year in Norwalk and had a really awesome experience bringing the event to Norwalk from Stamford, where it had been for the original years of it being in person, and wanted to bring it back at a full scale this year in Norwalk. And the 200 is based on approximately 150 riders riding 3 different routes, and approximately 50 staff and volunteers that will help make it. We, of course, invite anyone from the community to come and watch and cheer on our riders, who some are riding as far as 62.5 miles. So it's a really great day, and I'm very excited to hear about all the bikers we have on the call, which hopefully will join us that day as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, do we have any questions or comments? Ken or Mr. Stowers, do you have anything you'd like to say about it?
No, you know, we met with these, Rebecca met with them. They're going to the special events committee. They've completed everything. And you know, we got, you know, we have a veterans park, and we have veterans that take place in this event. And so we support it fully.
So if there are no more comments, all in favor? It's unanimous. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn, and I appreciate your energy and enthusiasm. And so I hope that this time coming back to Norwalk will keep you in Norwalk. We'll have such a fantastic
And then we'll just keep growing and become a massive event.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5.9, approve the use of Oyster Shell Park and immediate surrounding grounds by NICE for their 8th annual NICE Festival event to be held on Saturday, June 6, 2024. Setup time Friday, July 5th at 6 a.m. with tear down by Sunday, July 7th by 9 a.m. Approximately 500 people. Would someone move the item, please? Who is that?
McMurr.
Okay, McMurray, thank you very much. And who do we have to speak to this item?
We have Janet. Evelyn.
Hi, Miss Janet.
Hello there. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. We're thrilled to be staging the 8th annual. I can't believe it's 8th. It's the 8th year of doing it, but we're excited about it. And so just looking forward to delivering on our mission as we always have, and that is to bring all of as many different groups from the various cultures and various genres around our city and around our state for a day of fun and great entertainment.
Great. Do we have anything, Mr. Stowers, Mr. Hughes?
Annual event, you know, we work with them. We work with the NICE Festival committee, and we work with Evelyn. We've been doing this for some time, even before I was here. So we're going to see what we can do. It's, you know, we kind of co-sponsor this, the city does, in a way, because we help finance some of it. So yeah, it's a good event, and we're going to help to make it a good event.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none. Oh, did anyone put their hand? Okay. All in favor? That's unanimous. All right. So I just want to say, Janet, I think you remember when you came into my office and you told me about this idea. I don't know. It seems like it was more than 8 years ago. But what an amazing job you have done to be able to get this idea that you had off the ground, and have it be around for 8 years and hopefully 8+ more. You've done a terrific job in keeping this event alive for the city.
Well, if it weren't for the city, we would not be here, again for the 8th year. So I do want to, express my gratitude, and I want to thank you all for your continued support.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. 5:10, approve the use of Veterans Memorial Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Tribal Championship USA LLC for their Two Roads Tribal Championship event to be held on Saturday, July 19, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Set up on Friday, July 18, 2025, at 12 p.m. with teardown on Sunday, July 20th, 2025, by 12 p.m. Approximately 1,000 people. Would someone move the items?
McMurr.
McMurr, thank you. Right, and who do we have to speak to this?
Jeremy Swartz.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, sorry about the camera. I got stuck in traffic coming back from U.S. Coast Guard, doing a training with them today. Very nice to meet you all. Thank you very much for the time. Also, great to see the people that I've already met with in the past. I'd like to address any questions that people have first, but what would people like to hear from me? The one best part about today's conversation is we have 16 months prior to this event happening. And as we discussed in the past with some of the people who were involved, including Rebecca Kovac, we wanted to have a long runway to get everything achieved effectively and also be able to tell our investors and our sponsors how we're going to start going about hiring the right people, including event management and promotions, etc. And also talking to the not only chief of police, but head of community police, figuring out the correct security protocols that we're going to need to do this event. So please feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer any question that anyone has.
Well,
and regarding to one,
Jeremiah, can you give them a little background in the sport and why you're doing this, so they will be more familiar?
Absolutely, and thank you.
And how how you're going to use how you're going to form your teams from Connecticut. Can you kind of go through that?
Yeah, great question. Thank you very much for leading me into that. So we've been around for 2 decades. We've done events around the world, from Japan, China, South America, Europe, all over the world. When I was a product designer in Savannah College of Art and Design, I created the sport first as a ball, and then people loved the ball. They said you have to make a sport and game around this ball. And I did. And it was a fantastic platform to get people together from different cultures and bridge not only cultures, but different sport practitioners. From there, we started to grow. We had 65,000 participants around the world. We've worked with 270 schools, 25 colleges, 13 Native American reservations. And we work with youth ages from ages 6 all the way up to people who are 65 in age. Not only from our events, but obviously physical education and college recreation, campus recreation. So what we realized, though, was people really gravitated towards our organized events. And organized events allowed us to do a couple things. Educate the market, what the sport is and why it's fantastic. It was much more cost effective for us to do that than traveling the country to beg people to try the experience just to be able to tell them how good it was, because people can watch it from the distance of their home and basically really appreciate the concept. In addition, it allows us to generate revenue, and revenue is very important because in order to make new balls and goals, because we have very unique products, balls and goals, and also uniforms, we have to generate revenue to make more at economies of scale so that we can sell more products or get more products into the hands of schools and universities. one of the best parts about this sport, Tri-Ball, is that we're positioning it to be the world's #1 professional co-ed sport. So women and men play together at the same exact time, getting equal access and exposure to media components, media partners, also sponsors, and taking in the same cash prize. It's not the WNBA plays in the spring and then the NBA plays in the winter. It is literally women and men playing together in the same team. This tournament will be bringing 12 semi-professional co-ed teams from across the Northeast, from Virginia to Vermont, all together descending on Norwalk Veterans Park in one location, one single weekend, allowing people, especially families who are incredibly busy, that don't have the time to explore a new sport or explore a new game until they've seen the value of it. So they can come for these side activities, such as the sponsors. They're going to have food from vendors, and also, for example, Rings End has already pronounced the fact that they want to be involved, and they will have side activities there as well for families and kids. But that way, at an arm's length, people can learn what the sport is, see the value, not have to commit themselves too much to jumping into a full season, but also benefiting from the United States coming together at a very critical time of 12 different state teams, the people across Fairfield County and the rest of the state of Connecticut, and nationwide tuning into this event and seeing men and women compete together, participate together, work together, and also build social innovation that employs human beings. It's going to be a fantastic day, not only for the city of Norwalk, but also the people who worked with me and supported me in the past 7 years coming back to this country, including Joe Mataferri, former athletic director of the city of Norwalk, and Doug Marchetti, where we've worked with both Brian McMahon, of which I am an alumni. I went to the Global Study Center, I think in this third year. I've worked with the schools, and we're very interested in getting Norwalk Community College involved. So we already have sponsors interested in this. We want to give back to Norwalk. Norwalk is the perfect place to do this. And the last thing I will say is, I think right now, especially with the upcoming election year, and some of the feedback that we've gotten from First County Bank and a lot of discussions about this, and Two Roads, the world needs a positive story. The world needs something good, something that's tangible, that they can literally watch people coming together and exploring something new, American innovation, and not only something that's unique, but something that's tangible. What we would like to do as a result of building these 12 state teams, as a result of getting, hopefully, a green light for 2025, we'll be in a position to start not only raising more sponsorship, but also building these 12 state teams. And these state teams will be able to open up academies. And Norwalk is a great epicenter for us to launch the Youth Academy for Tri-Ball and get more people from across Fairfield County to learn the sport, from parents to also kids. So thank you very much for your time. Norwalk is the place that I've been scouting for over 7 years. I've officially moved to Elizabeth Street in Norwalk to get the zip code, to show the city of Norwalk how much I care about this. And I really, genuinely, after doing an event in 2019, I think that Veterans Park is the absolute place to do this, where the entire country will start paying attention. So thank you very much. I know that was very long-winded.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Sutton.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on, sir.
Okay. My question relates to the fact that you mentioned TV productions. Is there any special, do we have any special ordinance that we need to adhere to in that regard? Anybody?
Oh,
great question.
Yeah. Well, that would be on our end for the city. We'd have to check into that. Ken, I don't know if in your experience, I don't know if we've ever had anything actually televised or.
So we've had things at the mansions televised, and we did have a separate set of regulations. You know, that the city can't be portrayed in a bad light. We need to see any type of coverage that they're planning on, putting on television. And this is something that would actually be passed through the special events permit process. So the health department will be involved, the PD will be involved, fire will be involved. So there'll be a lot of eyes looking at this as it moves through that process.
Yeah,
But I
would
think,
go-
but I think we take special note too of just of the question that Mr. Sutton had. So we just gotta make sure
Yeah.
how you manage a live event, is.
No, definitely, it's in the application, and so all the departments that are involved that have some kind of, that touch this, these things in any way would have some say-so about it and could actually approve or not approve based upon, what, but we would like it to go through the special events committee. And we see a positive thing about it because it's sports, it's recreation, and that's what our business is.
Any other questions?
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you. So, I mean, you seem really passionate about this. It sounds like a really exciting thing for Norwalk. It sounds like it could be really big. I have a couple of questions. So it says approximately 1,000 people. Is that per day? I mean, that seems a little low, especially if it's going to be televised and we're bringing in people from out of state. I just want to get a sense of like how many people. And I know this is the first time in Norwalk doing this, but that seems a little low to me potentially.
So thank you for the question. So actually, we prefer to make sure that the city is comfortable and also that we can manage year one, starting with a stepping stone. And then by year 2, year 3, we can grow. We can gradually together build this into a larger spectacle. But it's more about, in our perspective, getting people nationwide, or at least across the Northeast region, to tune in, whether it's webcasting or watching even, post-event 5-minute or 10-minute segments on Good Morning Philadelphia, ABC 13. That's really valuable to the city of Norwalk. We'd rather make sure that we can manage things effectively with a smaller crowd and use our partners to kind of help manage that crowd over the 6-hour event. They can come and go as they please. Obviously only people with tickets, but we just want to make sure that you are comfortable first with us and our ability to manage. We are veteran operators of the event, but I think it's more important to show the city of Norwalk that we can manage the crowd and work with the city police.
So it's a ticketed event. People will pay to get in. You'll have a checkpoint and everything to get people in and out of the park, I would assume. Mr. Stowers and Ken, do you have any concerns about parking or anything since it's at Vets Park? Have you thought about that yet?
Well, through the special events committee, they'll have to prove, how parking will take place, as does Pride, who had 6,000 people last year, and they had a plan where they, bus people in, and so they'll have to have a plan about parking before it's approved.
I'm sure that's right in my district. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Schwartz.
I'm sorry. I was just saying we would hire the local buses. We've already reached out to a couple different carriers. We would have that approved by the city and bring them back and forth from the parking garages in South Norwalk over the bridge and then and back. And we just shuttle people back and forth and have buses running consistently. And I apologize because I didn't answer part of your question before. All of the attendants will be from Connecticut. Most people are going to be from Connecticut. I'd imagine 90%, maybe 95%. Maybe some families, some girlfriends, some boyfriends, some brothers and sisters might follow the teams and actually come to watch. But we are trying to make sure that this is a Fairfield County-based event so people locally can really enjoy the experience.
Got it. And I heard you say that you just moved back here. So that's why you chose Norwalk, is because it sounds like you at least spent some time here as a youngster. I just was going to ask why Norwalk, but I think you kind of answered that unless you want to elaborate on it.
I love Norwalk. Look, I mean, the people that I've met since I've come back to the country after living abroad for 11 years in 7 different countries, the only people who've made me feel comfortable are people in Norwalk, right? I grew up in Weston. I grew up in Manhattan, went to Weston, but I went to Brian McMahon for 2 years in the Global Studies Center. And I've seen a tremendous improvement in the city since I was last there. I mean, Washington Street alone is a great indicator of how Norwalk has really come about and has made a mark on the map. From the the ethnic diversity to the economics that are happening, the excitement around the bars and the restaurants. And that's what's, a lot of young adults really care about, but also the program that you're building, the new pickleball court that's coming in there. Norwalk is making strides on strides. But for me personally, I'm a manufacturer. I care about every single penny, your penny, my client's penny. And I think Norwalk is a perfect centerpiece city because you have Route 7 all the way from up north, Danbury, straight down to Norwalk. You have the Metro North, you have I-95, you have the Merritt Parkway, you have people who can walk to the venue. Veterans Park not only is a phenomenal, environment for people to be where they're comfortable after the Oyster Festival and the Sono 5K. You have all the bars in Washington Street, and you have restaurants, and you have Mr. Frosty's. But it's an epicenter of the Northeast. It's 6 hours of a drive from Burlington, Vermont, down. 6 hours from Alexandria, Virginia, up. That means you can get 12 state brands of professional co-ed teams descending right there in Norwalk. There's no better place to do that. If any city is equipped to host an event like this, it's Norwalk, because you have very large pieces of equipment during the Oyster Festival that make a large imprint, but people enjoy it. They come back every year. It's very hard to do something like that in other cities. So Norwalk, in my personal opinion and my personal affection, is a place that I've spent 7 years scouting. And I've built relationships with not only the city from PE and athletic directors, but also Gerald Anastasia, who helped us get our 2019 event in the city where we did a recreation tournament with 90 people who came from all across the state just to have a great time, no fans. They just played the game and it was fantastic. And unfortunately, then COVID happened. So this is something I've been planning for a long time, and I'm in love with Norwalk, and I'm very grateful to all of you for at least taking the time to have this conversation with me.
Thank you so much. Ken, do you have anything about the 2019 event that, you can say went great, went not great, anything like that? I know it's a much smaller event, but do you have any historical?
Yeah, so there was no issue with the past event. Like you said, it was just the teams. There wasn't really a lot of fanfare surrounding the event. I believe we did do some field lining for them. I think it was circles. We had some circles to Vets Park, but I mean, it was seamless on our end.
We have a robot for that now.
Now we do. It actually delivered today.
Awesome.
So, God, what was I gonna say now? Oh, so this is a little bit
Is that
more
Turf
involved.
Day?
Yeah. Yep. So this is a little bit more involved, but I've worked with him before, and he didn't let us down last time. I don't think he'll let us down this time.
And so any concerns regarding this, from your standpoint, Mr. Sowers or Mr. Hughes?
No, the Oyster Fest and Pride is a lot bigger event than these, and we do those seamlessly. So I'm not concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Me, it's Heather.
Okay.
He has her hand up too. So you talked about professionals. Are people actually making money, or is there actually professional players full time?
Great question, and thank you. So no, we are starting with semi-pro. A big part of the reason why we're raising investment is to give cash prizes to the athletes afterward. We're going after former collegiate athletes. These are not professionals. Some might have been. In fact, someone played professional arena football who has begged us to join the Connecticut State team. He really enjoyed his experience in the 2019 recreation tournament. But it's very important to make sure that these athletes who are going to be showing up and representing not only the country, not only our business, not only the sport, but also the city of Norwalk and their own states, that they feel that they are being represented in the way that right now, honestly, is the most important for everybody economically. And so these are not professionals, but we are raising investment to offer a cash prize for the participants. We're also raising the economics to be able to put down the hotel contracts, which is about $25,000 in the hotels, or a bunch of different hotels across Route 7 in the north of Norwalk. And then also the restaurants including Blind Rhino, 314 Beer Garden, and a few other vendors, including Mr. Frosty's. So I think athletes in particular who are going to participate they want to feel that they're also being invested in.
And how,
It's difficult to just get people to show up recreationally. Sorry, what were you saying?
how many are on a team?
So we will have 6 women and 6 men per state, 12 states, and that will be 144 athletes, followed by a manager and an assistant manager who's going to manage each team individually. So that's 168 individuals for team staff. Then we will have our own staff of about 30 to 40 individuals, especially if we can include Norwalk Community College and get some interns to kind of help out with management of the event and ushering people into certain areas.
So it's a round robin kind of thing, like a
Yeah,
tournament.
single day, exactly like that. It will be 6 hours, 20-minute games where it will be 16 matches or matchups from first match until the championship match, 20 minutes each. And again, people can come and go as they please as long as they have a ticket. We want to make sure that the police department have a more effective and efficient and streamlined experience in helping us handle security. I myself was a police officer in Savannah, Georgia. I've worked Savannah St. Patrick's Days, and I understand what serious crowd control looks like. So the most important thing for me is that the city feels comfortable with what we're bringing and who we're bringing together.
Okay, and so two more questions. How much is a ticket and how much is an entrance fee if you're a player or a team? How does that work?
Entrance fee will be free for players and for teams. We will be paying their costs. That's part of why we're raising the money that we are raising to make the event happen. Tickets, we have to kind of talk about that a little bit more, and we'd like to involve the city because we'd like to ask the city, is this an opportunity where the city would like to take a revenue share? We're not sure how the city feels comfortable yet as far as our ability to charge for prices, but we were looking at $30, including a free beer from Two Roads Brewery, which is why we've gotten Two Roads involved. They're going to be interested in building a beer garden, but in addition, we would purchase upfront kegs from them so that we can offer free beverage or free bottled water for people underage when they show up. And again, pricing is all.
Okay, so you're not a nonprofit, you're a for-profit if you're revenue.
We are for-profit. And for that reason, I apologize. I'm not sure why or where people would have thought we're a nonprofit. We do have a separate area of our sport, which is nonprofit, where we work with a lot of the Native American reservations around the country. Obviously, we're not economically in a position to purchase stuff for their communities. But I think the best way to serve the national community, the Norwalk community, our business, and make sure as a small business that we can continue and come back for year 2 and make this even better for people, is by generating revenue, which then needs to be invested into making more equipment, where economies of scale will take place and we can start selling to more schools at a more affordable rate to get more kids in the thousands and hundreds of thousands to play. And that's a very hard thing to do as a nonprofit because you have to wait a lot of time for sponsors to say yes. That's why we have to raise investment in the meantime while also going after sponsors, because we understand the sponsorship process. We know it's going to take a long time. We just can't be in a position where we have to wait for them to actually make a final check deposit and then start building the event. That's why we're trying to get ahead of this thing as fast as possible. So we have a long enough runway to work with you to answer these questions over time as well.
So do you have people on, last 2 questions, sorry, Nikki.
Please, yeah, no, I love this.
People on staff, when you say we, how many people are you talking about? And my second question is, do you have revenue with the state, maybe taxes that you've submitted this year?
For the taxes, I'll start with that first, because last question. No, because after COVID, we haven't done a single event since 2019 because we've been preparing this event. And so this is more valuable to us to get us into a revenue generating position to start working with schools and universities again. Now, there's a lot of schools across the country that have our equipment and have bought the equipment and membership, and they have kids in the thousands playing in PE every year, and then college campuses that are also doing it as well. But we want to focus on this event. This is more important to us so that we can be in a position to better distribute the experience and gain more people. Now, the other question, as far as the state of Connecticut, we are a Delaware LLC, and I've been trying to transition the process of going from Delaware to Connecticut, and we have a way of doing that. Now that I moved to Elizabeth Street, it's going to make this a little bit more easy for me because I was down in Florida for the holidays and working with my family and getting them into their new living accommodations for a while. So now being back in Connecticut, I can re-register or register our subsidiary company to do that. And then we can start showing more obvious tax statements across the state of Connecticut.
So it's a
and-
new company as of. Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
So it's a new company. You had a company
The,
before.
the tournament itself, is a new company, but our sport at the top has a parent company where we've been operating all across the country. And that's a big reason why we had a Delaware LLC, because we have to be in Texas for conventions and work with schools and then colleges and then California and Florida, back up to Connecticut. So we have a bunch of different things, but because of years congruently out of Connecticut, we're very willing to now re-register the company as a Connecticut LLC.
But you haven't done that yet as far as insurance and things like that.
Correct, but also partly because we don't even know what we're able to get as far as insurance until we're approved for the event. And then also it would behoove me to re-register the company in Connecticut if, for example, as a result of today or tonight, we were not approved for this event, then we would probably start building another event in a different state. So really, it all comes down to making sure that the city of Norwalk feels comfortable. Then we can, put more emphasis and cost into re-registering. And I'll be honest, building this myself around the world with a few people, and that reminds me, the people that I'm working with now. Most of this comes out of my pocket, right? Because in order to get other people to believe in what we're doing, I have to put down a tremendous amount of cost. I have a small amount of money in my coffers building this sport around the world until people see what's happening as a result of, for example, the city of Norwalk, city council, approving the event so that we can start building sponsorships, media partnerships, going after the insurance. And that's when people start really jumping on board. However, we do have 12 executive leaders who do month to month, week to week, and day-to-day tasks who are waiting with anticipation to hear how this meeting goes tonight, who are going to help build this event. We're also backed by 2 different advisory boards. One advisory board handles all of the recreation, organic momentum of building the game. Then another advisory board is helping with building the sport from the commercial side, building the actual state teams, going after the media and sponsors. And so we are backed by people from the Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Philadelphia 76ers, and people all across the sports industry, from youth summer camp franchising all the way to the legal side of the NFL. And we just wanted to make sure the city of Norwalk understood that we're backed by the right people.
You sound like a great marketer. It seems like you've done your due diligence. I personally wish you all the best. I just want to make sure that the city is in good situation and not left holding the bag if something goes wrong. So that's just the concern. It's not about your event necessarily.
Absolutely, and thank you.
So I think part of my issue is it seemed like we had gotten a lot of information about, your company historically being, in place and then dissolved or not dissolved, a nonprofit, not a nonprofit. So maybe we can follow up with that at some point.
Yeah.
So Robert, I don't know if you're going to jump in, but I think
there was never
there's a lot of vetting we have to do. Go ahead.
There's some vetting we have to do, but there's been some miscommunication. They were never they never indicated to us that they were a nonprofit. So I don't know where that came from. But there's a lot of things that we have over a year and a half to get this event in a place where everything we're vetting and everything And, they'll have to have plan for parking. We'll have to approve their rates or their fees. We'll have to approve, they'll have to have a plan for, with the police. So, all those things have to be done before the event will actually take place.
Any
I'm
other
happy to get to
questions,
work.
comments? Are there any other questions or comments for Mr. Schwartz? No?
I just want to say one more thing. I just think there's a lot of checkpoints that we still have in front of us, from the city standpoint and from Mr. Schwartz's standpoint. And so I think as everybody just stays diligent, like we
Yeah.
always are with
Yeah.
any of these events. And, Robert, you please come to us as you always do.
Yeah. Yeah.
With any concerns or questions, we'll just keep in contact about this. And,
Okay.
hopefully it is a very successful event on both sides.
And the issue becomes, we've talked with Mr. Schwartz, and so the issue becomes, he was on the agenda last month, and the reason we're now into 2025 is because it's going to take that long. And so there is a process, and I think we need to give ourselves some time to say, hey, listen, by 3 months or whatever, we should have all our ducks in a row, so to speak, or as much as we can.
Right.
So that we know that we are giving them enough time to get everything together. Because if not, then this process may not happen, or it starts all over again, and it's at least another year. Correct, Mr. Schwartz? It takes that long for you to get all that together.
And I think working with the city, with all of you, I think that will be the easiest part, because we're going to be very transparent. We're going to be very Johnny on the spot for every single thing that you require of us and ask of us. And I thank you for that. We just want to get ahead of selling sponsorships, which their marketing budgets close September, and then also building teams. We can't really start that until we know that the event has been approved. So that will be the last part. And so thank you very much for giving us this runway.
In this event,
Mr. Sutton, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Well, if it goes forward,
Yeah.
can I speak for a minute? If it
Go
goes
ahead.
forward, we're approving this so they can go ahead and begin with the sponsors. But we should have a timeline on when everything should be done, so it'll be well ahead of anything. So if it can't happen, we tell them early enough.
Thank you. Mr. Sutton?
Yeah. Is this expected to go to the council at our next meeting, or
Yes.
at what
Yes.
point? Yes?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
And with that, I mean, we have to take it to approve it so that we can allow them to move forward. But as Mr. Stauer said, if we've got to give ourselves a time frame, like I said, if it takes 3-4 months for us to get all the data and information that we need to allow Mr. Schwartz to move forward or not, I don't know, but we've got to give them some time. So if it's not approved, then we go through this again. It's
And if they can't get a special events permit, it doesn't happen. So if there's no permit issued because of things that can't happen, there's no event. So we have to go. The special events committee really decides in the end whether or not the event's going to happen.
Madam Chair, it's Nicole. I don't know if you can see me.
I can
have
see
my
you.
hand raised.
Okay. Yes, you can. Yes, go ahead, Nicole.
Thank you. Mr. Schwartz, I need to state my uncomfortableness, but I first want to say thank you for even considering Norwalk to have this. And it seems like you have some sort of plan and you're trying to work your plan. But I'm quite uneasy when you're saying you don't have insurance yet, because I know that your permit is based on you receiving insurance, that you cannot have the event without insurance. I'm sure that you're doing it so far in advance because you have all of these benchmarks you have to hit. But normally your organization, nonprofit, profit, whatever, has some type of liability insurance. Am I unclear in understanding that you currently have no insurance? No insurance?
Great question, and thank you very much. our company has insurance. We have operations insurance. The event itself is something that we need to first have approved before we're going to spend the money to get the insurance on the event. Because let's say people say, you know, we want the event to happen, but we don't want it to be 1,000 people. We want it to be 500 people. Then we go back to our insurance partner and we say, it's going to be 500 people. Can you adjust the premium? Can you adjust everything, the whole entire package? And then not only would we be insured for the players, but also for that adjusted market of attendance. So our business has insurance, yes, to operate, but the event in question is what we're really prioritizing as far as getting insurance, including the field, the rental, injury, molestation, spectator, everything. And that fluctuates tremendously depending on first being approved.
Can I clear this up a little bit?
Please,
Anytime you have,
that doesn't
I clear it
resonate
up?
what I know to be how to do business, but go ahead.
Yeah. When you have an event that is a unique event, no matter how much insurance you have, we have to go to the risk manager and we have to explain to the risk manager everything that's going to happen in this event. And they may require a different kind of insurance for each event. Events, so even if he says his company has insurance, and this is for anyone who comes to us, if it's an event that has different elements, it has to be considered. Just like the boat that came here, what was that? The Amistad. They came and they had insurance, but we went to our risk manager and they needed more insurance. So in any event or any situation, we have to take to the risk manager. So,
And Mrs. Stowers, why I have you on the city side, how much time do we need to be able to make sure we have what, like the permits and all this? I heard something about like a traffic plan and the police all lined up. How much time do we need?
I would think within 6 months, they need to have everything together.
Within 6 months?
Within 6 months, they need to have their act together within 6 months.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay. You all set, Mr. Stowers? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all in favor of moving this item forward? Can I see by show? I can't see anybody's hand, so if anyone can tell me, has everyone voted?
Yes.
Yes?
I'd like to abstain on this, if I might.
Okay, so can I get the yes? Jen, Ms. McNamara, Ms. Ayers?
I'm a no.
No. Mr. Sutton is abstain.
Yes.
Lisa actually got off but said yes. I don't know if we can take that. She just had to get off and take a call. Johan?
We can't hear you, Johan.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Now we
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go. Okay.
Okay, and I'm a yes. I haven't missed anybody, right? Okay, Delene, did you get that? So we have Ms. McMurray, Ms. Shanahan, Mr. Johan, and myself are yes. Ms. Ayers is a no, and Mr. Sutton abstains.
Yep, I got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
So
what about Heather Dunn?
I'm Ms. Dunn. I'm sorry.
I'm abstaining.
Heather?
I have enough information. I'd like to get the ALC to make a decision, so.
Okay. 2 abstentions. All right. So it passes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schwartz. I know this, we've had a couple of conversations, and maybe you had conversations with Recreation and Parks. There's a lot of information that needs to be gathered, but I'm sure we'll get to it. And hopefully we get to it in time enough that we work out something that's manageable for the city and works out for everybody. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I'm very
Thank you.
excited and Please let me know what you need from me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get to work.
we'll work with you.
All right. All
Hey, I
right,
gotta-
so
Have a great night.
have a
I
good
have
night.
I have to take off. I'm
Yeah, we
late.
all have to go. So, thank you very much,
Yeah.
everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you, Ms. McMurray. Have a good evening, everybody.
Good
Thank you.
night. All right.
night.
God bless. God bless.